Day 2 of our Georgia trip was a ride up and down the Georgia Military Highway, during which we visited the Ananuri Architectural Complex, the Jwari Pass, the Wall of Friendship, and the Gargetti Trinity Church in Kazbeki. The Georgia Military Highway runs about 200 kilometers north-south from Vladikavkaz in Russia to Tbilisi in Georgia. This road was originally an old path followed by traders and invaders since the 1st century BC, but became a carriage road only in 1783 through a Herculean effort by 800 Russian soldiers and came to its present form around 1800 AD. Many tourist sites describe this road as one of the most scenic in the world for its breathtaking views of snow-topped alpine mountains and amazing valley vistas. Our first stop was the Ananuri Architectural Complex, an interesting landmark in Georgia. Ananuri is a castle complex on the Aravi River and is about 70 kilometers from Tbilisi. It is on the tentative list for inclusion into the UNESCO World Heritage List. It was the seat of the Dukes of Aravi and has seen several battles and has come under siege repeatedly. The name Ananuri itself has an interesting origin. When the castle was under siege in the medieval times, it stayed undefeated because there was a secret tunnel leading from the castle to the river, which helped bring food and water to the people inside the castle. The enemy captured a woman named Anna, who was from the village of Nuri, and tortured her to get her to reveal the tunnel's location. But she died at their hands, choosing not to give the secret away. The castle was named Ananuri after Anna from Nuri to honor this legendary figure. The complex consists of two castles and two churches. The upper castle, with a large square tower, is reasonably well preserved, while the lower castle, with a round tower, is mostly in ruins. Of the two churches, the smaller one, the Church of the Virgin, is older, built in the first half of the 17th century, and has a tall square tower. It also houses the graves of some of the dukes of Aravi. Erstwhile feudal rulers being buried in the church halls is a common feature that you see across Georgia. The other church, the Church of the Mother of God, was built about 50 years later in the second half of the 17th century with a central dome structure. It has richly decorated facades, including a carved north entrance that reminds us of the torrents in Hindu and Buddhist temple architecture. And it also has a carved grapevine cross on the southern facade. Another prominent feature of this church is the carved wooden iconostasis, which is a screen of icons and religious paintings separating the sanctuary from the main part of the church. The church also has the remains of several frescoes, most of which were destroyed by a fire in the 18th century. The Ananuri complex overlooks the Jin Valley Reservoir. The area under this picturesque reservoir was once the bustling city of Jin Valley, with palaces, arch bridges, and basilicas. Sadly, the city was submerged owing to the decision of the Soviet government to build the Jin Valley hydroelectric power station in the 1970s. Twice a year, when the reservoir water is drawn down, the 12th century Holy Cross Church emerges from below occasionally. We then drove further up the highway for about 60 kilometers and reached the Georgia-Russia Friendship Monument. A bit of history now. For centuries, Georgia had been the victim of repeated aggression by the Persians from the south and by the Ottomans from the west. And for centuries, Georgian rulers had not only succumbed but also converted to Islam to buy peace on many an occasion. Tired of this subjugation, the rulers of Georgia entered into a treaty with Russia in 1783 by which they became a protectorate of Russia. Now, being subjugated was neither new nor unique for Georgia, and this treaty merely changed their masters from Persian or Ottoman to Russian. The Russia Georgia Friendship Monument was built in 1983 when Georgia was still part of the USSR to commemorate the 200th year of signing of this friendship treaty. The monument itself is a striking circular stone and concrete structure decorated with colorful, vivid mosaics depicting Russian and Georgian heroes, communist symbols, and farmers. It is located between the ski resort of Godavari and the Jwari Pass and overlooks the Devil's Valley of the Caucasus Mountains with panoramic views all round. Ironically, while the treaty was called the Treaty of Friendship, today Russia and Georgia are at loggerheads with each other and do not even have a formal diplomatic relationship.